On today's menu is an egg recipe that is quick to make and very delicious. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. The very first thing we will do is prepping the yogurt. I've taken 4 heaped tablespoons of plain unflavored yogurt. In it goes half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder. Please use less of chili powder if you want it to be less spicy. I also added half a tablespoon of sweet paprika to get that vibrant red color, and a teaspoon of curry powder. Then I added 1/4 of a cup of water. And my friends, if I say it's 1/4 of a cup, then I am using that very quantity. Sometimes people say that I am not saying the correct quantities. My friends, please trust me on this. With the camera lens all zoomed in, an object may look bigger than it really is. But that doesn't mean I'm giving you all wrong proportions. I really can't ever think of misleading my viewers. Okay, so I use my whisk because you do not want any lumps in this. Heat 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil over medium heat. Before the oil gets too hot, add finely chopped onions along with 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. Fry the onions on medium-low heat till they turn soft, but you do not need to brown them up too much. Whenever it comes to frying onions, never heat the oil too hot when adding the onions. Add them when the oil is just warm enough to start that sizzle. If your oil is too hot, then the onions will brown as soon as it hits that hot oil. And you may be thinking, oh wow, that's quick. But in that way, the onions will never melt away in your gravy, but will be glaring at you even at the end of cooking. Next, I added a teaspoon of finely grated garlic and a little less than a teaspoon of finely grated ginger. Fry the ginger and garlic on a fairly low heat for a few seconds. Next, add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water to bring down the temperature of the pan, because it is time for the yogurt to enter the pan, and yogurt needs all that pampering, or else it will split. Always take out the yogurt from the refrigerator at least 30 minutes before cooking. Add a splash of water to your pan and then add the yogurt. The heat of your stove should be low when adding the yogurt, and immediately start stirring as soon as the yogurt hits that pan. And please do not let go of your spoon until you start seeing those bubbles. My friend, if you follow all these tips when cooking with yogurt, it won't split. Okay, so now we can see those bubbles, so that's an indication to bring in the next ingredient. I added half a cup of hot water, and as you can see, this is a half cup measurement. Cover on low heat for 5 minutes. 5 minutes done, lift off and look at that gorgeous color. Time to salt it up. A teaspoon of salt, then 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper powder, just half a teaspoon of dried fenugreek leaves, that is kasoori methi. Always crush it before adding to release the flavors. And finally, a teaspoon of sugar to balance the flavor, but please leave it out if you have any concerns. Okay, time for the eggs to dive in. I break each egg in a bowl and slide it carefully into the gravy. Sprinkle just a pinch of salt over each egg and then cover on very low heat for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, carefully turn over each egg. Now keep this over medium-low heat uncovered for 3 to 4 minutes. You want a thick gravy for this recipe. Finally, do a taste test and adjust the seasonings, like add more salt if required, or more chili powder if you want more heat, or add nothing if the seasonings are to your liking. Finally, add some chopped cilantro or any herb of your choice, and you are done. Now tell me, my friends, wasn't that quick and easy? And it turns out to be super delicious. Serve it with rice, roti, or any flatbread of your choice, and you are going to love it. Please click that like button for me, and please do consider subscribing. Bye bye.